Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel,
I'm Andrew, and we're brothers, and this is the Day on Andrew Show.
where we give our opinions about movies and TV about Fallout movies with really long names that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
Spectacular. I didn't think about that beforehand, so just I'm really good at improv, as you can tell.
Mm, yeah,
So did you have a nice couple of weeks?
it was good. It was good. Yeah, you came and visited for a good portion of it. That's kind of why we're a little bit late.
Yeah, I went to see some dorks and also mom, our stepdad, and your wife Laura. So um
Mm.
it was nice to visit.
Oh, so you visited someone else on top of that. Okay.
No, just this the other two, you know,
Okay.
and then some pets. That was fun.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um yep, I think we had a pretty good trip. Hung out, saw movies and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Have you watched anything else other than our two reviews here?
I mean, I went and saw Godzilla X Kong again because they have at one of the theaters there was D box seats, which are they like move and rumble and
Apparently,
stuff.
they're very uncomfortable. That's all I
They're
heard
not
about.
like because they can't be like all plush because they like move around and stuff. They're like I think they were like their normal seats that we sat in for the other movie. It was just they had like rumble and moved and stuff, so maybe that was uncomfortable. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it was. I mean, it's like a 2 hour movie, but I mean, I think I you get uncomfortable if you're sitting for a long time in one place anyway, unless it's like super plush or recliners or whatever. So, I mean, I think in recliners I still get a little uncomfortable, but yeah. It was like if you go to like a normal live theater show, you might get a little uncomfortable in the chairs. That's what it felt like. But I mean, I thought it was fun. It was a good time. I mean, if there was a better movie for those kind of seats, I don't know what is. So but that was fun. I mean, I flew there and back, so I watched like half of the Avengers, the first one.
The original. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a pretty good movie. Um, I skipped a few scenes because like some of them are so dark, and when you're on the airplane, there's like light everywhere and stuff. You can like barely see anything.
Um.
Like
Yeah.
when they're fighting in the forest and Loki and Thor are talking to each other, it's like
You can't even see it.
you see like their mouths moving.
Yeah.
So like you don't understand, brother. And it's like I'm sure Thor's there and he's looking cool, but I can't tell what's going on. So I just kind of like skipped over a little bit, just waited till they fighting and stuff, and then I stopped like right before the final battle because I mean the flights weren't very long, so. But it's a pretty good movie. Um, Started watching the third season of Only Murders in the Building because I tried to find something to watch. That was pretty good. Uh, uh, think I think that was it. Um, I know you were watching Shogun.
Yep. Um. There's only one episode left. I'm all caught up.
Nice.
Um. Yeah. I think we might do a review on that, so I'll save my opinions.
Yeah. Alrighty. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. I don't think I've watched anything else other than that. So
Yeah, we're watching an anime, but we're about halfway through. I want to say.
you know.
That's pretty good. Spy X Family. There was a movie that actually just came out, so probably watch
Yeah,
that later after we're done.
I might I might watch the Rebel Moon movie. I hear it's extremely bad and cringe, so might be kind of enjoyable.
I heard the first one was bad, and this one is even worse. So
Yeah.
why
I
not?
mean, with what they set up with the first one, it was impossible for it not to be bad. But we have to watch and see how bad.
I'm not gonna watch it. If you want a bad triple feature, his last three movies are apparently all bad. So
Hmm.
that if you just add Army and the Dead in the before that, so
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
I did. It was pretty bad.
Um,
Um, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I mean, I think zombie stuff, I'm pretty lenient on that stuff. So, yep. Um, yeah, I don't think there. I wasn't. There's nothing like I was like super looking forward to or anything. I mean, I wanted to see this Guy Ritchie movie, and we'll talk about it. I think I heard Abigail's pretty good, actually. I mean, Dad saw it and he liked it. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it by myself. It seems like a movie you want to like go to with friends or something.
yeah.
Horror comedy.
Well, if we ain't reviewing it, I ain't seeing it. So,
Yeah. Oh, seeing Spider Man 2 today in the old theaters as they're
hmm.
doing that. So that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen it in theaters, or I might have when I was young, but I don't remember it seeing it in the theater. I remember seeing the third one, so with Toby. So that's cool. All right,
All right, which review are we doing first here?
all right. First review we're gonna do is the movie that we saw, because I think that Fallout will go longer. So we're gonna be talking about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Um, and it's called that because they say it the full title in the movie. So um, they're like, I guess we'll go by the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I
so
thought it worked in the movies, though. I mean,
yeah. Apparently, these come from real unsealed documents of Churchill's Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister of uh, United Kingdom during World War II. So, um, I don't know how much of it is realistic and how much of it is, you know, played up. But
yeah, we'll never know that. And I mean, I'm
yeah,
sure stuff is played up.
yeah, they showed the real people at the end of the movie. None of them looked anything like the people playing them, of course.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, apparently, multiple people think Henry Cavill should be James Bond. Um,
I
Guy,
mean,
Guy
yeah, but
Ritchie and Matthew Vaughn and
yeah, I mean, I think he would make a good Bond, but I don't think this is like showing that he could be a good Bond. I think he was just kind of. This wasn't like a Henry Cavill movie or anything. This was
well, Ian
on
Fleming
its
is a
own.
character in this movie, and apparently the person that Henry Cavill plays is who Ian Fleming based
Yeah,
James Bond
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So, or is many believe that that's who he based James Bond on. So, I mean, you know. Anyway, um, I just think that's kind of funny. Uh, but I don't think he's gonna be Bond. We'll see what happens um, on that. Anyway, so this movie, I went in with uh, not high expectations, I guess middle expectations. Um, because I mean I've liked Guy Ritchie's recent movies, We just talked about his show that he made a couple weeks ago, which was just a pretty good show. Um, I mean, killing Nazis, a okay. I think in everybody's book, always. So I mean, this movie was fun. I mean, I had a good time. It definitely kind of dragged in spots, um, and you know, um, I don't know. I feel like I think we've may have run out of steam on this. Nazis are bad. Let's kill them. Train. I think I like we know that, and we're kind of maybe done with that. Might have to figure out something new.
I mean, and that trope is never going to end. I don't know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, but
if you're tired of it, I understand, but it's not going to stop.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's an easy. I do definitely. It's definitely an easy sell. Uh, no one's like, I want the Nazi to come out on top at the end. It's always like, you know, we're gonna get
Hmm.
him. So
Yeah, I mean, I thought the story that was told was an interesting one.
yeah,
And but I mean, yeah, when you're talking about fighting the Nazis, you're not going to make a movie where this is a battle where we lose or something like that.
yeah. Well, of course, yeah,
So
yeah.
you know what you're getting when you go into the movie for sure.
It's British and Glorious Bastards. Um, so you know, pretty much the same plot. Not, I mean, obviously not beat for beat or anything, but pretty close to the same plot.
Hmm. Yeah, you got the setup at the beginning, and then there's even like very similar scenes of like trying to stay undercover and stuff. And yeah, it is pretty much the same movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably Tarantino's best film. I don't know if that's my favorite of Tarantino. It's definitely not my. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely probably the best film he's made. I feel like. Um, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, spoiler, but who doesn't like watching Hitler get killed? But you know,
Hmm.
that's a really good movie. So I mean, I think this was a good over like I don't know, good effort sounds uh condescending, but it's like a decent movie, fun movie. There's two storylines going at the same time, but they're working towards the same goal, the same mission. So you're not with the guys that you see in the trailer, which is the reason why people are there for, right? Henry Cavill and Alan Richson and the other guys, Alex
Hmm.
Pettifer and stuff. And then you're following, I think her name is Isa Gonzalez, and that other guy. Apparently, he's a doctor on one of the Star Trek shows. Uh, as they're like the ones that are going undercover and stuff and doing the espionage and trying to get close to the Nazi captain guy or
Hmm.
general or something, and setting up so they can come in and blow up these ships, and then these guys are traveling and they got to pick up one of their fallen brothers along the way. So just basically sets up action set pieces and stuff like that, and then the big end when they reach the climax of their mission. um I thought overall the movie was decent. um
Yeah, I thought it was entertaining, and there wasn't any. I mean, I get annoyed at plot holes and stuff. There really wasn't any, so that's good.
Yeah. I feel like there was enough like this is happening and this is happening and this is happening, so you're not really like dwelling on anything for very long, or you're not gonna be like this plot hole's weird. Or there was, I mean, there's one where like they're from this place to this place really fast. I don't know how they got there that fast, but I mean, we could, I guess, talk about that in spoilers if you want.
Okay.
That was the only like plot holy thing that I saw. Um, but I mean, it's not that crazy, and most of the time, basically, that this guy is going to end up on top, and most things are going to go well. But it's a story that people don't know, so I mean, I wasn't sure someone could die, whatever. I mean, the Nazis are going to die, um, but who knows? Maybe someone is going to die. So yeah. Um, I mean, I wonder if they thought about doing another one. Um,
I mean, I would watch another one if they did.
yeah, I mean, I feel like everything they try to set up for sequels and franchises and whatever. We'll see if
Yeah.
that actually happens or not. But
I mean, I don't think it would make sense in the fact that those people probably didn't team up and do more missions together, sort of thing. But like historically accurate. But I mean, I feel like they've set up those characters in the movie to do more stuff together. So,
yeah, so we'll see what happens. What would be your rating?
I think I'm at a 7. I thought it was a good movie overall. I don't think it had that many twists and turns or anything, so I don't wasn't super suspenseful, even though it kind of went for that. But all the action was really good, which I'm pleased with, and the writing was good, the acting was good, everything was just it hit the good marker, and
Yeah, I think I'm a little lower than you are. I think I'm gonna go 6, maybe 6.5. I don't know. I think probably 6. I mean, action is good. We got lots of action in it, but I don't know if I see there. I mean, I don't see Henry Cavill as like, yeah, mowing down guys and sticking his tongue out and be like, woo, killing guys, woo, this is fun. It just like didn't. I don't think super fit him for me. Um, I did like, however, I liked Alan Richardson's character. I thought was good, and he was just kind of like, do to do, killing guys with an axe, and kind of.
I don't know. I disagree. I think it was fine on both. I agree with that. Alan Richardson was good, but I mean even the crowd, when they told a joke, everyone was laughing and stuff.
No, it's fine. The jokes, like when he's making jokes, but like I just don't see him as that guy's like, I don't know. It's almost like he was like a teenager, like, check out what I'm gonna do, and then does, jumps off a roof or something. I just didn't,
Mm,
didn't really see him as that guy, but I'm gonna steal his coat. Isn't that funny? I don't know, but that's just me. I don't know.
yeah, because the crowd pretty much enjoyed. I mean, even I did as well.
No, I
So,
mean I I mean I like Guy Ritchie's movies, and most of his movies are like, here's a spot where there's gonna be a sight gag that you're gonna think is funny, and the crowd will like it. I mean, I think I've watched I mean, the movie that came out last year, which like I think 3 people saw, the with Jason Statham and stuff. I mean, I like that movie. I think The Gentleman's a really good movie that came out in like 2020. Um, so I mean, and Wrath of Man. I've seen like most of his movies recently. So I mean, but I feel like
I
he
mean, I think if you compare it to those movies, it's definitely worse. But I don't think maybe you're comparing it to those other movies too hard. I think comparing it to other movies in theaters, it's definitely better than some. So I still think it hits that good marker. I think 6 is a disservice. I think it was
I
too
think
low.
it's above average. I don't think I'll watch it again. I think I had a good time, but it was not. I would probably watch another one, but I'm not like raring for anything new or whatever. I just thought it was decent movie. Um, I don't know. There's for some reason there's something that's like kind of lacking for me. Maybe I just didn't like the second plot line as much.
Mm.
Um, yeah, probably 6.5 maybe because I did like Carrie Elwes is like the captain or general. I don't know. Um, trying to bring this team together and stuff. Um, I liked all that when they're talking to each other and kind of interesting. Um, yeah, we can get into spoilers here.
Yeah.
Um,
I really don't think there is that many, but what were you
so
talking about? Where they
so
just
yeah,
show
so
somewhere?
she gets found out that she's a spy or whatever, and she literally shoots that guy in the head. And and I was like, who's driving her? Is it Are they other Nazis or are they just random guys? Like who's driving her? And she shoots him in the head, and then she makes it him and the the one guy that she's in the undercover with, and her get get away unscathed and drive a boat to them. And no other
Mm.
boats could get through, but that boat got through and
Well,
makes it.
they show him securing the boat. Prior to that scene, he goes and kills some guys at a boat.
Oh, okay.
Prior to that scene, and but yeah, they blow up all the other U boats, but they're supposed to be two different boats essentially.
She kills that guy, gets away, finds that guy, gets on the boat.
Well, she doesn't get
Boat.
away. He literally shows up and kills the driver and the passenger guy who was driving, and he's
Oh,
the one who drives her to the boat.
okay. I guess I missed that part or
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention. But either way, yeah, they get away and then get to the boat, and then the boat gets there pretty fast. I just feel like it was like really quick in
Yeah,
the
it was
sequence of events.
yeah, it was definitely, everyone was going to live, no one was going to get left behind sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Um.
convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was not done correctly. They showed how it happened, sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I like spy stuff. I always like a good spy scene. The scene where they use the suitcase and cover the other suitcase and pick it up or whatever and get the info, and she might get found out, but she doesn't by the cat like by the officer or whatever, and all like that stuff. That stuff is always fun for me. Definitely like the
Yeah. I
whole.
found that to be the boring part, honestly. But yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I
I
mean,
didn't
I
think it wasn't entertaining,
I
to
can
be fair.
watch dudes get mowed down in any action movie. Like I've seen it a million times. Like, but something interesting. I like a
No,
little
that
bit.
part was great. That's the part I like about the movie.
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's good. But I mean, I've seen it. I'm okay with. I would.
He's taking down people with a bow from a
Yeah, that
long
was cool.
range, and then they show what everyone else is doing, how the other guy gets on the turret and he just mows down the whole people that were training or whatever. I thought it was entertaining, and the action actually made sense. It's not just in John Wick, there's like 100 guys, but they're off screen and they just come in to get shot, sort of thing. It was
Yeah.
much more tactical, army wise.
Yeah, it reminded me of Far Cry, where you're trying to take over the base, and you're using a bow and arrow to be stealthy, to
Hmm.
get your extra bonuses when you
And yeah,
take
and then
over
they
the.
were like, "I guess stealth's over now," and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was great.
That's me and you playing. You're stealthy, and then I shoot some guy loudly in the head. What
Yeah,
else is new? But I
yeah.
mean, I like it. I thought it was a fun movie. It was just I felt like it was a little paint by numbers movie. I mean, there was fun stuff in it. I mean, I like
Yeah.
that it's historical and stuff, and action was good, but there's nothing about it that I will be like, ah, yeah, I remember this because it was great in this aspect. I just enjoyed it, you know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I have. Uh, I thought the villain or main Nazi guy was fine. I mean, he's played soldier guy before. Uh, eh, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think your review is a little like you've seen like so many things, and it skews your viewing of this movie when other people haven't seen, every Tarantino movie, every Nazi movie. And if they went and saw this, they don't have all these outside factors bringing this movie down or up. So
I
they might
feel
enjoy it
like
more.
I feel like this was made for like a 40-year-old man. And I think a lot of those guys are gonna have seen Tarantino movies. I mean, Dad liked the movie, but he's seen Inglorious Bastards, and he thought pretty similar to what I mean, I feel like a lot of the people that are gonna see this movie will have seen a Tarantino movie, or movies of this ilk before. Um, and some of those people will go, well, this is more of what I like, so I liked it. And some people might feel the same way I do. I agree with your sentiment. Your point is valid, um, on that. But I mean, I didn't think it was a bad movie, by any means. I like Guy Ritchie. I will watch the next movie he will make. He's already making another one with Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal, I think it was, where
Mhm.
they're like not hitman or something, but they're like something. They're operatives or something. So I mean, he's pumping them out pretty pretty fast, and so we'll get more of Guy Ritchie-ness very soon because his movies have been doing pretty decently. So um, yeah, so it's basically gonna his next movie will be the stars of his last two movies because Jake Gyllenhaal did The Covenant last year with him. So which I
Mhm.
did see. That's like the only one I haven't seen recently that he did.
Yeah,
So
I saw it. It was pretty good.
good. Well, cute.
Probably another 7 for me on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. So
Yeah. Well, shall
cute.
we get to our next review then?
All right. Oh, would you before we move on, so I'm at like a 6.5, you're at a 7. Would you see it, stream it, or skip it?
Stream it for sure. Yeah.
I think so too. I don't think there isn't like big grand shots or anything, or big war battles or something that you need to like see in a theater or anything. I think you watch it at home.
I'll almost tell you never to go to a theater. It's too expensive. But um, you know, to rent this movie for $5 or something on Amazon or wherever you rent movies, I think it'd be worth that. Or if it goes on to HBO or wherever it ends up for free, I mean, yeah, I'd say I'd be pretty pleased to watch this on streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you saw for $5, yeah, I definitely think you would be like, all right, I think I got you and the couple
Hmm.
people or whatever, and all six of us saw it yesterday. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. So I mean, it was definitely more than $5. So yeah, or you watch it on a streaming service. So cool. All right. So that was the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Um, and now we're gonna talk about Fallout. This is definitely, uh, for me, definitely most anticipated show of this year. I don't know about you, but I was worried when I saw the trailers. If I'm being honest, I thought, I don't know if they're gonna hit this tone the way it needs to be hit, and we'll see how I feel about the uh, storyline. And there was definitely mystery, and even up to the day, we were kind of trying to figure out what was going on before we watched it.
Hmm.
Um, I will definitely say that I enjoyed the show. Do I think there's a better show to be had? I would say yes, but I still think the show is well done. I mean, I really, really like Fallout New Vegas. I think Fallout New Vegas probably is my favorite game ever. Like, best top game of all time. We'll see if my thoughts change or whatever. But so I mean, I liked three. I thought four was decent. But I'm also just a baby when it comes to games. So if it's too hard or I feel it's too hard, I'll give up. So, but
Very
oh,
true. Very
but I
true.
also I do like the role playing aspect. I mean, I played Starfield for probably longer than I needed to. So, uh, yeah. So I think I mean, I like Fallout a lot. What do you think of the show overall?
Um, I think as a game adaptation, they did a spectacular job. I so many of these just flub it so hard, and it's not even worth a watch just because you're a fan of the franchise. They're actually doing a disservice to that franchise. This definitely raises up the appeal for Fallout and makes it much more mainstream. Um, you know, Fallout 76, Fallout 4, all of those player counts have skyrocketed since the show. Same thing happened from Witcher season 1. Um, it's definitely a plus. I think this is how you make when you have such a vast story in the Fallout series, like you take something like Mario, and all Mario really did was just, have a checklist of things that needed to go in and
Yeah.
didn't really make a good story about it.
Yeah, they didn't make the elements didn't mesh. It was just kind of like, oh, here's the you like Mario Kart, right? Here it is, and here's Smash. Like, I mean, I think Mario. I think you kind of more down on it. I think there was fun stuff about it, but yeah, I agree
Well,
that
they checked the boxes of the nostalgia from the games and whatnot, and
yeah,
that's why people like the movie still. But whereas this also did that, there was plenty of nostalgia there, and there's still plenty of nostalgia going forward.
yeah,
This also told an interesting story and a new story within that world,
yes.
and so that for the story can still be good going forward. As for Mario, I'm just like, okay, some more boxes to check off, sort of.
I think it was known for many years that video game adaptations, just like Death and Taxes, the video game adaptation were inevitably going to be horrible. I mean, Mario, like the live action Mario, was horrible back in the day, and um, I mean, even recently, Assassin's Creed, the old Mortal Kombat, even though I like those movies because I think they're ridiculous, are not good. Street Fighter, uh, I mean, we even had Twisted Metal was bad. Halo apparently just takes a dump on the rest. Um, I mean, there's other things I'm sure that I can't remember off the top of my head that are video game adaptations that are bad. Um, but yeah, so I'm glad that we're kind of getting stuff that's good. The Last of Us, I think this is good. I think the Sonic movies are decent. I mean, I've only seen the first one, so maybe I shouldn't speak too soon on that. But
I thought the second one was worse, but it was fine. It's like a 6.
yeah, I mean, Mario, I thought Mario was fine uh, or good, depending on the day. I feel like my
Mhm.
opinion, if I think about it, my opinion kind of wavers. I think I
Yeah.
had a good time just because I like Mario and whatever. That's a whole different thing. But let's see what else we got. Let's get into talk about Fallout here. Yeah, so I mean, I think I have a. This takes place in the West. It takes place in California. Um, they've had the only the West originally is what 1 and 2 take place. So those are the roots of Fallout. So that's why I feel like people like New Vegas because it is the West. And then the other ones they've made sense, or that were made by Bethesda specifically, were in the East, uh, DC and Boston for 3 and 4. So um, I think people are enjoying that. If you're an old school fan or you like New Vegas, having it in the West, you got the NCR and stuff like that. But then you also have, the Brotherhood of Steel, which is like the Fallout kind of, the iconic images is the power armor, right? And that's more that, the Brotherhood of Steel and stuff like that. Um, which is more like East Coast. So um, there's kind of that thing that goes on when you're uh, thinking when you're talking about Fallout as kind of that, like there's like two sides of that coin, and then you have in this they go into vault tech more, which you're one of the this show kind of follows sort of a Fallout 3 type plot where you come out of the vault and stuff, and the vault stuff is more in the forefront, and they get into the backstory of that, which I don't think they ever have in a game where they talk about vault tech and stuff. And um, I don't know. I feel like some people are not liking some of the ways that they go through stuff and set things up, and some people are just enjoying it because they just like seeing a thing that they like not getting completely wrecked. So we'll see. I'm I'm kind of I'm kind of in the middle on this show. I still think the show is decent. Um, uh, Not decent, good. Um, I'm gonna probably give it a higher rating, uh, but not like super high. I I'm like at like a 7.5 or an 8. Um, because I enjoy the show. I will definitely be interested in a second season. And they already said they like
They've
pretty much,
greenlit it. They
yeah,
greenlit it.
they greenlit it and renewed it. But before they were like before that they were like, oh, they already got a tax credit to do it in California, so it was pretty much already going to happen. So Um, I mean, I'll definitely watch another season. So, what kind of rating are we looking at?
I'm in the same boat, an 8. I think I think it is more of a 7, but for me it's an 8 because it's Fallout, and
Yeah,
they really did just a great job carving its own section in the overall narrative of Fallout. It's connected to the games, but not so much where, they could mess things up or anything. So it's kind of interesting to connect all the dots within the universe, kind of like almost like a Marvel cinematic thing, but it's connected to the games, or like a Star Wars thing if it was actually done correctly. Um, and it makes it interesting to watch as a fan, and then even so to someone who's not a fan, like my wife who's never played a game or anything, really enjoyed the show as well. So I think it does a good job of introducing new fans who haven't played the games but also pleasing the fans at the same time. So I think it sets a bar for game adaptations. I still think Last of Us as a whole is probably much better. It's a different vibe. It's a much more serious tone thing, and you're doing exactly what you did in the games. So it's still a different beast, but I think this definitely raises the bar and shows how it should be done. The creators of the games came over and helped them make it, and the people who were making it were obviously also fans, and they wanted to make sure it got done right. So definitely sets the bar uh, for game adaptations.
yeah. I think so. Bethesda said that you cannot just make a adaptation of one of the games. They said do not do that. You have to do your own thing. Um, so that's what they did. There's definitely detractors from the show for me. That's why I'm kind of like 7.5, 8, kind of back and forth on that because I mean, some of the characters are fine, but some of the characters are really good. I mean, I some of the plot points I'm kind of iffy on, and um, I don't know if I like some of the character directions, but and a lot of the things was kind of I felt like just like pretty obvious what's going on. But I mean, also if you play the games, you go know well if you go to a vault most of the time you're not going in to just seeing normal stuff happening. You're going to go into a vault and see weird stuff or weird experiment or big disaster or problem
Hmm.
thing gone awry. So but that's what I liked about some of the about most of the show is it felt like Fallout. They did what you wanted from a Fallout thing, which was good old time, explosions, people, shooting and power
Slow
armor,
motion, the
slow
music.
motion, music, comedy, dry comedy, dark comedy stuff, weird creatures.
It was also pretty violent. I wasn't expecting it to be as violent as it was.
I mean, Fallout is super violent. I mean, people, there's perks and stuff. There's things that you can get in the game where you can just, randomly, if you shoot one guy and you kill them, they'll turn into a big bloody pile and human remains and explode. Basically, I mean that's what stuff you can do in the game. So I I expected it to be bloody and stuff, and I'm glad they didn't like shy away from anything. Or I mean, Fallout has run the gamut on weird, taboo things. All kinds of weirdos and creepiness, but also funny and interesting. Really good storytelling, smart storytelling, interesting characters, having fun companions. There, there's a dog in this game or in the movie. Just like there's a dog in the games and stuff that you can have as a companion, and uh, I mean, it was fun. Um, so yeah, I think 7.5 is a good spot.
Yeah. And I
Close.
think it has potential to go even higher.
Yes,
They've set up a pretty good branching story and characters you're invested in. Um, and I only hope it gets better from here. I kind of wish the action, like at the final section, was a bit more. Um, it wasn't like bad by any means, but
I
that's
will
a bit
say
nitpicking as well. So yeah.
something about that I feel like at the end of I don't know. I have never played the end of Fallout 4, so I have no idea. But Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, I feel like their endings are kind of okay. I mean, and they're kind of like you're just kind of in this narrow end part. Um, and then they
Hmm.
end with like New Vegas ends with like a slideshow. So, I mean,
Yeah, they all end with a slideshow, even four.
okay. So, I mean, having an ending that's kind of I think is part for the course then. So, but I mean, that's just me. I mean, I thought, yeah, I understand you would want a bigger battle or something, but it was kind of the the ending was kind of clunky. I will say that for sure. There's other detractors like I think the Brotherhood of Steel are kind of goofy in this show, just like all the way around. I don't. They kind of win a weird way with the Brotherhood. They're I don't see them as like almost religious, uh, weird like priests, and then they like anoint people. Is what it seemed like they were doing in this, and I don't really see them as that in the games. Um, but
Mm, I mean, they were kind of with it. I mean, they do have paladins and they have scribes that have to work their way up the ranks and stuff. Um, and they show that there's a lot of it in four and a lot of it, not so much three. They're kind of just there in three until like near the end. Um,
and New Vegas are not in it very much, so I mean, I guess I'm not just not well versed maybe in it, but I don't know. It's just they seem kind of weird in this show. Um,
yeah, in Vegas, they're just almost wiped out
yeah.
and they're just trying to survive and whatnot. But they do have a role to play. But yeah,
So I don't know. Um, like yeah, I mean we will have to get into spoilers. I think I'm.
I
Uh,
agree.
well, I guess we could talk about. So they show the bombs drop. I mean, it's in the trailer, and so that was kind of interesting. And then they show Walton Goggins, definitely the highlight of the show. I mean, he is kind of just playing the same character he always plays in Western, kind of
Yeah.
snarky comment guy,
Yeah.
gunslinger guy.
I would just consider that good casting.
Oh yeah, well, but yeah, they not stunt casting, but uh, yeah, that he's typecast.
Hmm.
Um, and he plays a ghoul. I still don't think he was ghouly enough, but that's just me. It's more Red Skull to me than a ghoul, but that's okay. All right, so we I dropped out, and there's you know sound sound issues, so we're starting again where we left off. Um, yeah, so I mean, we can see if he becomes more ghouly as another season comes.
Yeah.
um, now they're getting into New Vegas. which is my favorite game. I think the best game. So we'll see what they do there. Hopefully, they don't screw it up. We'll definitely see Mr. House. He's in the show already. I wonder if they'll get a new actor. He doesn't really
I,
look like Mr. House.
I think it'll be the same guy. I don't know why.
Well, I mean,
I mean, it was like 2 seconds. I don't. If he's like a main role, then maybe get a different guy.
yeah,
But
they can always recast. I think. I mean, you could just have a picture on the screen.
I mean, he literally said like 2 things, so maybe that guy's actually good at playing him, but it didn't really give him much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can have a picture on a screen and have the guy from the game do the voice. I mean, that's like not crazy, or just a different voice or something, because that's what he is basically. Um, and they'll probably have, and hopefully they'll have like a yes man or something. Just depends on which ending they want to go with from New Vegas, or they do their own thing.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there.
Yeah, definitely should have at least
Yeah.
something.
They were asking I remember watching some interview or something. They were asking like, what's Ron Perlman, and they basically were like, we couldn't do everything in season 1.
No
So
mysterious stranger, some BS.
yeah, so I mean, there's still more they can do more now. So I think a lot of that stuff will happen in season 2.
We shall see. Um, I mean, more New Vegas. I'm down. We'll see where how that fits into the puzzle. Other than the dad character knew the other people and their little
Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely good. I mean, it's never as simple as just go do the main thing, right?
yeah, in
So
their little tech Illuminati thing that they were doing there. Um,
yeah,
so we'll see. We still don't know what happened to the Walton Goggins character's wife and kid. They're probably alive. Probably were frozen. We'll see what happens.
I'm just gonna assume they're alive. Hopefully, they don't pull like a Fallout 4 where the kid's like totally grown now.
Who knows? We don't know.
Oh, maybe did I just spoil 4 for you
I mean,
because you never finished it.
I don't really care.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if I get that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because they took the kid. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. Let's just our
Yeah, we
game.
won't get into that.
I mean, there is a lot of lore. There's the first 2 games that that take place in the West too. So we'll see if they do anything more
Hmm.
with that. Will we see season 2? Will we see different power armor? Will we see Enclave power armor, or stuff like that? That's also in New Vegas. There's some Enclave power armor, I think, right? So I mean, there's lots of different stuff
Yeah.
that we could see. Um, you know, just hoping. Caesar's Legion. Are they still around? Does that even exist in this little timeline that they got going here? Um, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be like they even had like fiends in this season. I could see them just being in there for like one short clip sort
Will we
of
see the
thing.
Great Khans? Will we see the Boomers? We shall see.
Hmm.
I don't know. I like that. I like
Yeah, it all depends on the ending they chose. So
no
yeah.
super mutants. We're gonna get a super mutant. There's lots of good stuff.
True, there was no super mutants.
Yeah, lots of good Fallout stuff that they could do. We'll see. I don't know. If they do a super mutant, will they just get a giant man and film them weird, or will they get someone on stilts like in that power armor? because that
Yeah.
might be a little clunky. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I'm excited. I like the renewed excitement in Fallout. Maybe we'll get remasters. Maybe we'll get another Fallout. That's what I hope for anyway, because Fallout 76 is trash. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully the show gets them in gear and we get a remaster. Lots of rumors of a remaster.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm sure their player base, I know their player base has grown since this show came out. People are playing those games again or playing them for the first time. I mean, on Xbox, you could play them for free on Game Pass if you have it. So I think all of them,
yeah.
other than the original couple that were on computer.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
So yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our episode. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until then.
This has been the Daniel and Andrew Show.